How much of a moneymaker is Saturday Night Live?
It does very well for the network, in part because it's a dependent variable in a schedule that has wild changes.
Every year it's there.
Every year it's there. 39 years. I mean, we're talking about one of the great marathons in television history. It is almost impossible. I mean, NBC actually has Meet the Press, which has been on a long time, and there are some shows that have been on as long. But in the entertainment business, which has wild betas, and sometimes shows burn out, and reality shows don't last, or whatever, this is one of a kind.
And Lorne Michaels broke new ground with those digital shorts and really putting snippets of the skits online. Was he a visionary, or was he just lucky?
No, I think you have to say at this point, Lorne is quite a visionary. He's not only a visionary in terms of adopting new technologies and incorporating them into the show, but in terms of reinventing the show. I mean, this season, we're going to have, they're going to have 6 new cast members, 4 new writers. Those things don't happen by accident.
Overhaul.
Have they ever had 6 new cast members?
No, I think there was one time when there was 6 and it was a featured player, but this is a pretty big hill to climb.
If you look at some of the people that he brought basically from nowhere and then have become huge stars, Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Mike Myers, I mean, talk about his development of talent.
Well, this is what happens. You know, I remember being on the show the last time Phil Hartman was there, and everybody said, how are we ever going to replace Phil? And then there's this guy named Will Ferrell that comes along. You know, it's just constantly developing and picking the right talent, which is really difficult.
Yeah, and I go to the language of a year ago. It's a disgrace. It's awful. It's unconscionable. Cecily Strong jumped out of the screen. She does Weekend Update this year. Okay, that's great, and all these young comedians are out there. Why hasn't it been replicated on an entertainment standpoint, on a business standpoint? Why can other networks not do what Mr. Michaels and NBC did?
I think, look, people have tried. There have been many attempts through the years. I think this is an incredible formula that Lorne has got, and he's got a real sense of talent. This is very difficult to do, and so when he picks these people and he puts them into this kind of mosaic that he runs every season, it's a lot harder than it looks.
How valuable is SNL for NBC?
Well, look, the late night day part is not as valuable, let's say, as the morning television. Today spews off hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, but it's still something that's very, very important. And last year, aside from football, Saturday Night Live was the top-rated show.
Saturday Night Live has been so out front in terms of being a cultural zeitgeist, a touchstone really, because Nouriel Roubini, who is our guest host, was actually featured in Saturday Night Live in a skit back in 2009. They actually talked about his global recession call. Did the show set out to be this cultural touchstone?
Absolutely. Look, in the first season when Chevy Chase was playing Gerald Ford and Falling Down, I mean, that in a way was like a de facto branding of the Ford presidency. So every year, I mean, there's nothing like Saturday Night Live during the election.
I'm trying to get Chevy Chase imitating Nouriel Roubini.
All I see is Fred Armisen imitating Nouriel Roubini. What did you think of it, Nouriel?
I saw that skit. It was really fun. You definitely become iconic when you're on SNL.
Did they get your
even more than being on Bloomberg. I got 10 times more email from that 3 minutes on SNL than an hour on Bloomberg. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, no.
We only have celebrity economists on the show. You were talking about talent, people leaving. Seth Meyers is going to be leaving in February. Is that going to be a big loss for her?
Yes, both in front of the camera and behind. Seth was the head writer, but the good news is he's staying on for a couple months. He's a great mentor. He's a very generous person with the young people on the staff, and so I think that kind of connective tissue for everybody is going to help.
What did they do on Thursday, quickly? What do they do on Thursday before Saturday?
They block. Wednesday night they do a read-through. Thursday night they rehearse and block, and
they're rehearsing right now.
Thursday.